And good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Well, it was an exciting night in Oklahoma last night. Most of you are aware that we had terrible storms in northern Oklahoma. Thankfully, I'm in southern Oklahoma. And unfortunately, at least one individual lost his life. And we're in for another night of storms in Oklahoma. This is storm season. But I'm glad to be with you this morning, and we'll see what the day holds. Welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. We are currently talking about and investigating the dating of the book of Revelation. I have suggested to you that there's not another concept that is more directly related to dating the book of Revelation than the doctrine of the vindication of the martyrs. I had some individuals write to me privately, email, as well as some post on Facebook saying, well, I didn't realize that. I had never thought about that before. Well, ever so briefly, let me chronicle how pervasive the doctrine is in the book of Revelation. It is mentioned either explicitly or implicitly in virtually every chapter in the book. Almost. Chapter 1. He shall come on the clouds of the heaven, every eye shall see him, all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. The ones who pierced him would see him. That's martyr vindication. John said, I am your brother in the great tribulation. Letters to the 7 churches. 2 of the 7 churches are specifically said to be under persecution at the hand of the Jews, by the way, and promised vindication at the coming of the Lord. That's chapter 2 and chapter 3. Chapter 5, the Lamb who was slain is counted worthy. That's martyr vindication. Chapter 6, the souls under the altar who had been beheaded and martyred for the word of God promised vindication in a little while at the great day of the Lord. Chapter 7, the 144,000 are those who have come out of the great tribulation and are about to be vindicated when? At the day of the Lord. Chapter 8, we find the prayer of the saints back in chapter 6, coming before the Lord. And now the 7 trumpets blow to bring in what? The great day of the Lord, which is their vindication. Chapter 11. We find the city where the 2 prophets of God are, but that city slays those 2 prophets. Oh, by the way, it's also the city where the Lord was slain. But the 2 prophets are raised from the dead and ascend up on high. That is their vindication. At the great day of the Lord, in the destruction of that city, it is the time for the rewarding of the prophets. That's martyr vindication. Chapter 12, Satan is the great persecutor who attempts to kill the man-child. Failing that, he then pursues the seed of the man-child to destroy them, but they are protected. And Satan knows that he has only a little while. Little while until what? Until he's destroyed at martyr vindication. Chapter 13, the beast comes out of the sea, out of the land as well. 2 beasts are there. What do? They persecute, they persecute the saints. Chapter 14, the declaration of the impending judgment of Babylon. Who is Babylon? The persecutor of the saints. Chapter 16, the beginning of the description of the judgment of this persecuting power, and the prophets are told to rejoice because their vindication is at hand. Chapter 17, the beast who who has been in a partnership with Babylon against the saints, now turns on her, hates her, and burns her with fire. This is the judgment of the persecuting power. Chapter 18, chapter 19, the description of the judgment of Babylon. And in chapter 19, the great paean of victory is sung. Rejoice, for he, that is Yahweh, has avenged the blood of the martyrs. Chapter 20, a recapitulation of the entire vision, basically. Most assuredly a recapitulation of chapter 6 and chapter 12. Those who have been beheaded by the beast are seated on thrones. They rest for 1,000 years. They rule and they reign with Christ for 1,000 years. Until when? Until the great white throne judgment, which is what? The destruction of Satan. Satan, pardon me, Satan, who is the persecutor of the 7 churches, Satan who persecutes the seed in chapter 12, and now Satan, the great persecutor, is destroyed at the end of the millennium. And what follows? The new heaven and the new earth. The judgment, the rewarding, the vindication of all of the martyrs, which of course is indicative of the rewarding of all of God's saints. You know what? I've probably missed something in this really brief synopsis, but I hope you can see how pervasive the doctrine of the avenging of the blood of the martyrs really is. Now, I developed this theme extensively in my book, Who is This Babylon? You can purchase the book at www.eschatology.org, www.bibleprophecy.com. Mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I will refund your shipping. Now, in the following segments, I will demonstrate that not only is martyr vindication the dominant theme of the book of Revelation, I will demonstrate how it agrees with the Old Testament promises of martyr vindication, how it agrees with Jesus and with Paul in their doctrine of martyr vindication, and how all of this absolutely, definitively demands that the book of Revelation was written prior to the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70 and was predictive of the judgment of Old Covenant Israel in AD 70. Well, we've got a whole lot more, therefore. So thanks for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. We'll see you on the flip side.